Hey fifth graders, I just wanted to show you that Gus is taking good care of Alexa for us right now. And if it was any small stuffed animal, he would have ripped it up in 2 seconds, but he treats this one more like a pillow, which he loves. And yeah, so we are talking about angles and triangles today, and this is lesson 136. So everything I'm talking to you about is in your information box. First, we'll talk about angles. Yesterday we learned the last video we learned the word congruent, and we learned that congruent, when we're talking about shapes, means they're literally exactly the same. Same size, same shape, everything. So when it comes to congruent angles, same idea. They are angles that are exactly the same opening, okay? The amount that they're open is actually measured. We'll learn how to do that later. But if they're both open exactly the same amount to the same degree, they are congruent. I want to show you something though, because this used to blow my mind and confuse me. So I want to show you. Both of these have the same exact opening, okay? But I'm going to do something and you're going to see that in a second. It's not going to look like they're the same, but they still are. So remember, we know that angles are made of two rays, which have an end point and a line that never ends, right? So if I wanted to show you that, all I did just now was take off those arrows. I didn't change the opening width, okay? But these arrows mean that the line goes on forever, right? So if I continued that on and continued this on, now all of a sudden, these don't look like congruent angles anymore. These look very different, but they are congruent. So you're probably thinking, well, how am I going to know that? Because that does not look the same at all. I would never call that congruent normally. They will give you a measurement, and if they both have the same corner measurement or angle measurement, you'll know. That's how you'll know that they're congruent. So I just wanted to show you that, because those don't look congruent anymore, but they really are. Because as long as their measurement in the corner or angle is the same, they're still congruent. Okay, next, right angle. A right angle is made of two perpendicular lines, one going straight up, one going exactly sideways, and that measurement has a number, and it will always be this number, and they always put a box in the corner to tell you this is a right angle, and that is a 90-degree angle, 90 degrees. So if it's 90 degrees, exactly, it's a right angle. Okay, now, anything that's lower than a 90-degree angle is called an acute angle. Lower means it's squeezed closer together, anything all the way down, okay? Those are called acute angles. So if it's anything less than a 90-degree angle, it's acute, okay? Now, if it's anything bigger than a right angle, it's obtuse. So here's a right angle again. If I go smaller, I'm acute. Here's back to the right angle. If I go bigger, now that's called obtuse. If it's 90 degrees, anything all the way up to 180, that is called obtuse. And then this one's, I think this one's crazy, but this is called a straight angle, which basically looks like a straight line, but it's like two rays going in opposite directions. And this is called a 180-degree angle, but it's called a straight angle because it is basically straight. So this is exactly 180 degrees always, okay? So right angles are 90, straight angles are always 180. Acute angles are less than 90, obtuse angles are bigger than 90 but less than 180. So anything between the right angle and the straight angle. Okay, so I don't expect you to memorize that all immediately, but we will need to know that. So the more you can soak into that, the better. And it's all in your book. And I'm going to take this. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for helping me. And I'm going to do kind of like what I did yesterday and show you some stuff in the book too about triangles. Okay, so this is in your book, so you might be following along with me. But we just talked about all this stuff on the board. And now we're going to be talking about 4 things I want you to know about triangles. First, triangles have 3 angles. Tri means 3 anyways. So triangle, that means it's going to have 3 angles. And they show you that in the corners, okay? Those little curved lines are showing you that those are angles. And when any triangle you have, if you add up the 3 angles, it's always going to equal 180, okay? A right triangle is going to have 1 right angle. An isosceles triangle is going to have 2 congruent sides. What does congruent mean again? Congruent means the same. So their lengths are going to be exactly the same, and the way you'll know that is those 2 little lines. They put the lines here and here to show you. Those are congruent. They're the same length. This third line is different. That's why it doesn't have those little whiskers, okay? And then this last one is called an equilateral triangle. Kind of, you can see or hear the word equal in there. That means all 3 sides are the exact same length. And that's why all 3 sides have those little marks showing you that their sides are the same. So different types of triangles. The right triangle always has a right angle. Isosceles triangle is going to have two sides that are the same, and an equilateral triangle, three sides that are the same. All right, guys, so using the information from the box, you will answer all of the questions on the worksheet. Do your best.